to look in the right places. If you don't have that place defined in your mind, you'll go nowhere. Which is what most people do. They don't have that place defined. You got to know what you're looking at and where you're going to go.
We were all excited and talking about dreams and where you could be. And did you ever think that you could write something down in a want circle of what you want, and that you could be debt-free? You could take a day and have Freedom Day and go ahead and play your freedom music in the background and just start writing checks for every ounce of debt that you have and just have it completely gone. That is worth a day of vacation right there.
This is what Dan would talk about when times were tough. He would talk about coming home from lunch, meeting one of his buds, and pulling in the driveway and seeing us outside, riding our horses, working hard. To be able to work at something, picture something, and get something is absolutely incredible.
Feel your dream, because the dream will fuel your courage to get back up when you get knocked down. It doesn't say if you get knocked down.
The biggest thing you can do to overcome objections is to have the big dream.
And I can't wait to hear people come across this stage telling their story. You know, telling about their dream, and then them having the guts to go get the dream.
It's like everything just becomes so small when you see the big picture, when you buy into really where you're going, all the difficulties you're going to run into, the money challenges, the time challenges, the arrows people shoot at you because you're trying to make something of yourself and they lack the courage to do it themselves.
You wonder why association is so powerful? Because it builds belief. So the first thing with fear of failure is you can't let it be a roadblock that holds you back from even attempting. That's ridiculous.
It was scary because I wanted to quit so bad. I wanted to say no. But God had a bigger plan, and I'm so glad He did.
You will get knocked down. That's not even the question. The question is, do you have the courage to get back up?
I didn't come bearing much that it was going to take to make this happen, except for a couple things. One is I was driven. I had dreams.
Becoming a champion is uncommon. Of course it's against the odds, because the odds say the common man achieves nothing. So the question is, will you feel your dream? Because if you feel your dream, you break out. You break out of the cycle, because no dream equals no guts, which equals no story.
But right now I want to talk to you, the business builder, the person that has your own business, and you've invested tonight in a large part to learn how to get ahead and go at this faster and get your goals and dreams and accomplish what you want to accomplish now, not wait forever to get it done. You want to know the secret to this business? You want to know the secret to going fast? Build it like you have to. Get your head somehow in a position where you stop babying yourself. Play some kind of trick in your mind where you can get yourself to break out of the comfortable habits that you've formed into your life. Because we have it really easy. I mean, you go back 150, 200 years, and people worked hard back then. That was hard work when they had to spend every waking moment preparing food, hunting food, doing laundry, chopping wood, providing heat, building shelter, whatever it was, dodging diseases, dying in childbirth. I mean, you go back not very far and they had it tough. We get mad if the air conditioning isn't charged up all the way in our car. And it's blowing not cold enough and it needs a Freon charge or something. We go, this is ridiculous. This car is under warranty. This is terrible. We've gotten so soft that when something as good as this business comes along, we convince ourselves that it's hard and we go slow and we're okay with it. When actually the trick is to build it like you have to. Let me ask you this. I always do this. Pretend there's some emergency and you have to build this business fast. Or some doctor won't perform some surgery on someone you love and they're going to die. I mean, create this big negative thing in your head if you have to. Now just somehow transport yourself into this fake situation and think about it. If you had to, in 18 months, to save that person's life, legitimately build your business fast, could you do it? Could you? Could being the operative word. Would it be physically, believably possible that you could do it? Legitimately. Could you? Yes! You know you could. See, what you've got to do is you've got to get yourself to think of a fake situation and get to where you can say, yes, I could. And then let's remove the calamity. Let's remove the tragedy, the error, the emergency. Let's take away the bad situation. It doesn't exist at all. Look how blessed you are. You can still do it, though. If you can get yourself to realize that you can do it, that it's physically possible, that you could go that fast if you had to, well, then go that fast. Make yourself do that. The fastest people go in the business are when they get themselves into a position where they feel like they have to. And normally, that's when a guy hates his job and he wants to get out of a job. But generally, the fastest someone goes is when they have to. And lots of times, getting out of that job they hate or some situation they hate makes them have to. Some people can motivate themselves by something positive that they'd really, really like to have. But it's all the same. The secret to this business is finding your hot button and dancing all over it. It's an inside job. You have to motivate yourself. You have to find your own hot button and dance all over it. You have to build it like you have to. You guys can build this. You can go faster than you think. You can go bigger than you think. And you can get it done much sooner than you're thinking. And I promise you, you're thinking smart. You're worthy of a big victory here. All you got to do, all the odds of you making it are on your side. Just find that hot button and dance all over it. You can totally do it.
Better now, I used to be so down and out, I used to be the thorn in my crown, and when I looked in the mirror and saw the man that appeared, filled up inside with regret, I knew that it was the time to open up my eyes and face what's holding me back. I'm better than you. I'm better than you. I'm better now. I'm better than you. I'm better than you.
Good evening, guys. How are we doing tonight? Good. Excellent. You're excellent. I know you are. Well, it's 8 o'clock and it's Tuesday Open, and Mr. Casey Green, my boss, my mentor, my hero, is up here to talk next. Give it to me.
I paid him to say that. Yeah. It wasn't worth the $2, he said. No, welcome tonight. What I think is interesting about our Tuesday nights is it's a time where we share an opportunity, an amazing opportunity for anybody that's looking for something more in life. And what I think is interesting, you ask yourself some questions. Is there anybody that you know that may be interested in making a little extra money? What about a lot of extra money? Do you know anybody that's struggling with debt, struggling with relationships, just struggling with not being where they want to be? Do you know anybody like that? And I could definitely be one of those folks that raised my hand, and I think almost everybody I know wishes they were in a different spot, almost everybody, or the majority of them. And so tonight when we invite someone to share this opportunity with, the question that we asked, the life you've always wanted. And I always think it's an interesting question to ask somebody, and I kind of like it. Before it was weird to me. I'm like, what are we, some tagline? But it's really not. I truly get to sit down with someone and ask them, what's the life you always wanted? Have you ever dreamed of how you want to live? Like when you were a little kid, what did you dream about? Or what do you dream about now? Maybe you're a big kid. Maybe you haven't figured out, like Steve, what he wants to get. It doesn't really matter to me. I think it's interesting, and I love to hear other people's dreams. I love to hear their goals, and I love to hear where they're at, especially when we're going to talk about tonight of what we have to offer them. But most people are struggling today for the American dream. They're struggling to live the American dream, and we're going to go through a couple things of why is that? In fact, here's some statistics to help deepen your depression. No, I'm just kidding. Here's some statistics that basically, it really lays it out of what people are struggling, and it makes it very clear of why they're struggling today. And I hope throughout this you're thinking, what's in this opportunity for me and anybody else I introduce this to? And number one, retirement. You need to have $1.6 million in your retirement. By the way, the cost of owning a home, $1 million. Owning a new car, $900,000. Just chump change, pretty easy stuff. Raising 2 children, paying for college, only $872,000. Health care, $414,000. Annual vacations, $180,000. Annual vacations. Pets, $39,000. And if you're having a wedding, that is dang close. But when you look at all this, you're like, are you serious? I mean, this is just an average of what they put together, and it comes out of USA Today, that they put together some statistics of what is in front of Americans today. Now, if you have kids or you have grandkids, or maybe this is yourself, you look at this and say, I got that. Does anybody even in here look and say, I've got that? You try to explain that to your kids or your grandkids, or maybe you're looking at it personally, but I don't even know if I could afford that one. I'm like, geez. When you look at that, this is what's facing people. Here's the reality that just, they'll be violent for a moment, just slaps you in the face. It does when you're trying to tell somebody you can live the American dream, but here it is. It's all listed out of, and if you look at most jobs today, most people's salaries today, what they make, it's nowhere near any of these, right, per year. And it's kind of crazy. It hasn't changed for over 50 years. The median average of people, what they make, is gone up way slower than my retirement. But when you look at this, it's absolutely crazy. So this is what most people are up against when they're trying to, like, I want to go get a dream, and are they excited about their life? A lot of people. And what does that mean? It's only 5.04, someone did the math, $5.04 million. And what does that mean? Most people and what they make throughout their lifetime and what they gather, it's a $2.8 million gap. So has anybody ever seen anybody go get a second job, and after they retire, then they go get a second job and they work because they're bored? Some people say that. Some people say, I need something to do. But I really, with a $2.8 million gap, you know why people retire from one job just to go to work another. And the scary thing on retirement, it's a fixed income. But the thing that's not fixed is inflation. Right? Look at how much, has anybody stopped by a really expensive place? Somebody sent me something the other day. He said, I took my wife out to a really expensive place the other day for our anniversary, and showed him a picture of at the gas station. I thought that was pretty funny. But that's no kidding. Is anybody shocked by the gas prices? Huh?
$4.19 to get here.
Diesel. Yeah, $5.40 today. $5.40. There is a positive side of that. Most of us are going to buy a bike and we'll be in shape. Okay? No, I mean, you think about this. It's a huge gap. $2.2 million gap that most people are trying to live the American dream, and there's something standing in the way. Finances are definitely standing in the way. So how do you do that? How do you tell your kids, your grandkids, how do you look in the mirror and say, I got this? On the path that most people are on, 95% of us are on, there's no way to fill in that gap. No matter if you work overtime, no matter if you get a second job, how do you get rid of that gap? And to make it even worse, like I talked about inflation, they graphed it out for us. And for those of you that are like me, very visual, $2.2 million doesn't seem like a lot, but then they graphed out what most people do. They work, start working at a young age. They think they're king of the world. They're making a bunch of money, get good raises, and then around your 30s, you start flatlining, and then you retire, age 65. That number is now moving to 70, and you lose a half to two-thirds of your income. And this red line that they put in here, it's really is scary to think. I mean, we just talked about gas and groceries and different things. That keeps going up, but see this sharp cliff, and there's no safety lines or anything like that. And nobody has a safety moment with you to tell you, watch out, there's a cliff here, don't fall off. And you lose a half to two-thirds of your income. This is the reality. I mean, this source, U.S. Bureau of Labor and Statistics, or BLS, it basically lists out, thanks, Steve. It lists out here what the path, the traditional path that most of us are on. And not saying that what most of us do isn't valid or it's not important. It's just showing you the result of where most people are at going down the path they're going down now. And what I think is interesting, and what I found interesting, is when Dr. Childs came and showed me an opportunity, I got excited, for one, because it was a different path, and there was a way out, and I could see he was shining a light. I could see it was way down the tunnel, but I could see a light, and here's the opportunity that we get to help people. So we just presented all this data of here's all the negative, here's the reality of it, negative or not, that's just the reality of it. And then here, what do we get to do? We have an opportunity of wealth thinking and changing your thinking and helping someone get on a different path that'll equal different results. So 95% of people do not think that have wealth thinking. We're not taught wealth thinking, and only 5% have the wealth. And I always thought it was funny, like the saying, how the other half live. That's not the other half, that's only 5%. And we look at this, so the biggest difference is, on the left side, there's 4 ways legally that you make money. Employee, self-employed, a business with a system, or an investor. And most of us are trapped on the left side here, and we trade time for money. The problem is we can't leverage anything. We try to leverage more time, and we only have 24 hours in a day. And then what? And if you work 7 days a week, is it really that fun anyway? But you never really get ahead because you just have to get up again Monday morning and start all over. And in here, what do these guys have? They have leverage, key point, leverage, and they have well thinking. Well, how do you learn how to use leverage? It's well thinking. There's definitely a systematic way that these folks have learned. How do I build a pipeline of income, of wealth that's flowing in? Did anybody ever go to school and they taught you about pipeline income? I missed that day, and I think Hunter did too. I showed up, and they didn't show how do you build a pipeline of income, of passive income, that these guys, these 5%, because what I think is interesting is the folks that are very wealthy, the folks that not just having money, but have their stuff together because they're able to focus and choose their time, where they need to be, the people they need to be with, but they leverage money to do what they want to do. It's kind of backwards from what most of us are taught. Time is money. You got to work hard. You got to be the guy there all the time. What do these guys do? They use money to be so they can be where they want to be and do what they want to do. Does that sound interesting to anybody? Yeah. So how do we help people do that? What is well thinking? There's really 3 components to it that we learn here, and this opportunity we have, we get to present to people. So the first one is financial literacy. Don't you think it would make sense you have to learn about money if you'd like to have money? Example of, if you go do any research on folks that won the lottery, it's something like it's over 90% of the people that have won the lottery 5 years later in a worse position than they were before they won the lottery. Why is that? It's their thinking. So if you didn't know how to have money before, what makes you think you're going to keep it? Leadership development. Who here thinks that leadership development would be an important aspect in your life? Now, you don't have to lead a bunch of people, just leading yourself, leading others. I mean, to think about how many companies, think of the world today, like everything rises and falls on leadership. And it's a critical point. So if you can learn financial literacy, you can learn leadership, and then you learn how to leverage. The key part to well thinking, leverage, because you only run out of time, but leverage, building a pipeline income to allow you to do whatever you want. And this is what we're introducing to people, wealth thinking. Do you think that would add value to anybody? Anybody that you can think of right now, would it add value to you? I know it's added value to me, and I absolutely love, here's what we get to offer people. And out in the world today, do you think that anybody needs financial literacy today? What about leadership? And would anybody like to learn how to leverage money, leverage to do whatever they wanted to do instead of someone telling them what to do? So when we look at most people, there's a list that they've generated because we're human beings and we're all pretty similar on the things that we want. And when they've asked people across really the world, what's the number one thing that people want? I know for me it was time. Because I can't remember who used it now. It might have been Chris Brady. He said time is one of those things where we all have if you can imagine, we all have an hourglass and the sand is dropping in the bottom, but you never get to see the top part. You just know that it's dumping in the bottom part, but you can never see in the top part. And most of us live our life like it's no big deal, like that thing is full to the top. We don't know if the last 3 grains are in there, right? And so to me, having the time to be able to do whatever I want, I mean, you think about go through your whole life and never live how you wanted to live, never do the things that you want. And in fact, I think there was a nurse that she wrote a book because she spent a lot of time with the folks that were dying, and like one of their number one regrets was, I wish that I would have done more. I wish I would have risked more. I wish I would have lived my life and done hard things. Isn't that crazy to think that come to the end of it and there's this clarity in your mind like, man, I was too scared to do certain things or try things. But time or money, most people, why do they want money? Is it because they love it, that it smells good, it feels good, they just want to have it all over them? Gold coins. I think money smells terrible. Maybe gold coins. I don't know. People used to wear gold coins, different things like that. But it's the freedom that money gives you, right? It's the things that it allows you to do, to spend your time to. And to me, having money is really equals freedom, because then you get to choose where you want to be, where you want to go, who you want to spend your time with, and it gives you security. So to me, everything is kind of rooted. If I could solve that part of it, like if you have money but you don't have any leadership skills, you don't have any character, you don't have any friends, that's probably not very fun. So here, I love the core foundation that we teach people: financial literacy. We teach them leadership and teach them how to leverage and how do you pass that on. Family, to me, how do you teach your family? How do you set a good example? And how do you help them walk down a different path? Even folks to this day, I know Jeff has some good friends that are multimillionaires, and I know if you probably asked each one of them, hey, show me what you do, they're like, it's not that easy, or I don't have a path that I can really show you. Do you know what we can here, though? The opportunity we have here, you can help anybody walk down the path that wants to be. I don't know if you have a family yet, or most of us come from a family of something. But if the number one thing to really have an impact on your family is to be able to spend time with them, and more than just at, unfortunately, funerals and weddings, right? As we usually, when people get together, why? Because they don't have money and they don't have time, they don't have the freedom to go do whatever they want, and they're scared because if they lose their job, they don't have any security. But if I had to say anything on this list, what's the most important to most people, they would probably say family, right? Lifestyle, it's kind of interesting. I never heard this before, but when you really think about it, we all have a lifestyle that we live, and when you think about it, is the lifestyle that you want? Is that the one that you would show your kids or your grandkids, or if you had an opportunity to go show, is that what you'd want them to be able to? I'm not trying to, that didn't sound very good. Most of the time, we dream about this, but what most of us are living, that's not what we're showing. That's a better way to put it. I'm not trying to put anybody down. It's just most of us, and I can think that we don't live the life that we want, that we would tell someone else to do, right? Giving. Is there people in need in the world today? 100%. And this is probably one that's going to suffer here as the inflation keeps going up, because fortunately the tighter people are squeezed, the less they are able to give. And this is important. I struggle with this, as you know, I've always struggled with this as far as I don't believe in giving anybody a handout, but I do believe that there are people in this world that have things wrong with them, things that they can't control, that they truly do need help. And now don't get me wrong, there's a lot of people in the system that take advantage of it, but I do believe that there's a lot of people out there. Has anybody ever tripped and fell financially, or through your family, or made some bad decisions or something? We all need help every once in a while. Doesn't mean we're taking advantage of anything, but to give back to someone, to help them get back on their feet, to believe in them, to know that they can be better, right? We all need help. And legacy, to me, would you like to have a legacy where people know you or your family, you changed the trajectory of you and your family, and anybody that was around you felt lifted up and better because they hung around you and your family? I absolutely love this one. To me, the legacy one, because I'm getting older. Hunter said I'm just seasoned. And I was like a piece of jerky? Or he's like, not as much pepper. But anyway, but being able to leave a legacy, something that people remember you. I mean, when you're gone, but you still have a ripple effect on your kids, your grandkids, whoever's around. And to me, I'd like to leave an impact where I help people and I lifted them up and I was the best person I could be. And I believe there's a lot of people that want to do the same thing. And the problem is our current financial position, most people still have this $2.2 million gap that I keep talking about, and that equals they can't get to that because it's the current path that they're on. But here we have this amazing opportunity with this platform and this community that we're building, that we have the Starfish platform that we can leverage, keyword again, that we can leverage this Starfish platform and we can leverage the community. We can lock arms together to go down a different path to help each and every one of us go down, and whoever we introduce this to, go down this path. And how do we do that? We've partnered with nationwide with national brand merchants. And one of the things I get asked sometimes, like, is this a legit thing? We've partnered with over 600 merchants, 650. That's what Jane said, so I believe her. And you look at these are monster companies, and you don't think that they've looked at this through a magnifying glass. They don't just partner with anybody. So to me, here's your due diligence. These guys have checked us out. They're partnering with us. In fact, we don't even have to go to these guys anymore. They're coming to the platform because they want something different as well. And how do we do that? This is one of the ways that we help anybody that's even just a customer can beat inflation by just using the platform. Think about it. If you go to Amazon or Walmart, Lowe's, anywhere you go, you're going to spend money. Most people are spending money anyway. You come to the platform, you can actually spend less money by using the platform. Who else does that? Nobody does that. The Starfish platform does that, where we allow customers, and we start teaching wealth thinking even if they don't know it, just by using a different payment platform. Think about that. This is powerful. And when we lock arms as a community, this thing's just going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. And in fact, that's how we help each other. More people that plug in the community, when you start, how do you get to a different destination? You have to learn different thinking. You have to get different directions to get where you want to go. And in here, when you plug into a community, it's not just people that talk theory. There's people that are in the community, people that you hear in the system. There are people that have results. And I love that we get to help each other and we get to leverage our community. We don't even have to be on the same team, same business, but we do get to help each other. So when I look at most people, like, what is the Starfish platform? It's a platform, it's a payment platform, different way to pay. When you think about a different way, and most people pay with credit cards, tap to pay, but most people pay today with credit cards. And in fact, cash is not even accepted at some places anymore. So I look at credit cards compared to Starfish, different way to pay that we're teaching anybody. Now I back up, even 20 years ago, 25 years ago, if you asked a lot of people to use credit cards, they're like, I don't use a credit card because I don't know how to use it and it's weird. Well, you think about it now, you fast forward now, and people, that's just all, kids know how to use it. Right here, give me that. They're like, credit card, then here's a phone. They just tap to pay. They don't even do that stuff anymore. So let's look at the difference. Credit cards, there's debt risk. Starfish? Nope. Compound interest that works against you? Starfish? Nope. Fees. Nobody has ever had a fee from a credit card, have they? Yep, credit card fees. Slippery slope means it's the gateway drug or gateway to debt is credit cards. And then what do they charge? Cashback perks. These guys will say they give you 1% to 2% cashback perks. And here, Starfish, if you look at everything, we don't get people in debt. We teach them to leverage their cash. They don't get compound interest. There's no fees. The slippery slope here is in the good direction of wealth thinking. And cashbacks, you can get 1% to 20%. And if there's no payment to miss, these guys on here are do you know casinos? Has anybody ever been to a casino? They play blackjack. Why do you think these guys do it? Because everybody wins? No, the house always wins. They just know it's a matter of time before you lose. Same with the credit cards. They know it's a matter of time before you mess up. They're going to charge you this 1% to 2% they're giving you. It's just like gambling at a table. They know they're going to win eventually. They know you're going to miss a payment. They know something's going to happen. They're going to get all that back and then some. And so, to me, look at what we're offering people, a different way to pay, a better way to keep them out of debt, to teach them something different and put more money back in their pocket and to help them get out of the spot they're in. Man, isn't that awesome? So Royal Starfish, here's one more step, because what I love about this, and we'll get into it in a minute, there's 3 different levels that we'll talk about to be involved. And Royal Starfish, there's, like anything today, the right information is very, very powerful when you apply it. Would you agree? And here we have what we call Royal Starfish, teaches you well thinking. And this is in any time when you're up in the morning, you're driving to work, you're getting ready in the morning, whatever you're doing. Most people have a mobile device in their hand nowadays, all the time. And if you've got that in there, you can be listening to audios, you can be reading books specific to helping you learn leadership and leverage and finances, anything you can think of. There's audiobooks and there's videos. It's really unlimited access from people that have gone and done it and have results. Big difference here. And you get to unlock, anybody that you introduce this to, they can say, yes, I want to be part of Royal Starfish, and unlock just this amazing information that could truly change your life forever. So here's the 3 steps that people can be involved in this opportunity we're talking about. So one is Starfish. This is simply a customer. Most customers want the simplest thing ever. Starfish is very simple. Once they get it set up, they go pay. They can pay in the store and online. Generates an electronic gift card. It's safer than using a credit card, safer than using cash, really. And they can fight against inflation. At a minimum, it can put more money back in their pocket than before they used it. Think about that. So who wouldn't be interested in that? The second one is there's our people that just not quite sure. They want something more, but at a minimum, they want to invest in themselves so they can get on the Royal Starfish and start thinking, and start teaching principles about leadership and financial literacy, relationships, and they can start walking this path. And to me, that's huge, right? If you, bless you, you think about this information that you have, that it could unlock the doors to the potential of where you want to go. And then a B-type business owner, as we talked about, these guys are on the right side of the quadrant. They have leverage. This is a leverage. You get to leverage this system. You get to leverage Starfish platform to help people get where they want to go. Every level doesn't. There's no signing a contract. There's no you owe 49 payments of whatever. This is people can come and go as freely as possible. One of the things they teach about is freedom. Is anybody ever interested in that? The Constitution, anything like that, it actually has inside the platform here, which is phenomenal stuff. And so whatever anybody's interest level is, they've got a path for each one, for any of them that want to get in. Somebody that wants to have a different life, I want to go down a different path, and I want to start creating pipeline income. Everything is set up in a duplicatable system that anybody can plug into and get phenomenal results. And so how do we do that? One of the things that they developed here is called Team Approach. And I love this because I don't have to do it by myself. And it was one of the things I looked at when Dr. Childs introduced this to me. I was like, Jeff, I've never done anything like this. And he's like, well, that's okay. How about I show you how to do it, and then I walk right alongside you and help you do it. Does that sound like a good deal? It sounds like an awesome deal to me. So how does it work? Through Team Approach. So we had Frank and Beth that introduced it to you. You said, I'm excited. I want a different path. I want different results. You start talking to family and friends. There's people that just say, hey, I want to be on Starfish. I want to fight inflation. I don't like credit cards. And I want to put more money back in my pocket no matter what. There's Royal Starfish. Then there's people like Bobby that say, man, I want pipeline income. I want to do this. It's just a choice, right? All we're doing is asking people, what would you choose? It's a menu. They get to choose what they want. And if they're excited, we just help them down whatever path that they want. You talk to John and Tanya. They're excited too. Why wouldn't somebody be excited for a different path, especially if they're looking? And most people today are looking for something different. In fact, I don't think there's ever been a time in history where there's been so many people looking for or they do something different. They're driving for Uber, they're doing door dashing, they're doing all sorts of different things to try and get ahead in the world today, to try and get out of the path that they're on. But here, through Team Approach, it's absolutely awesome. Think about this. This is leverage here. We get to leverage each other. This is made for people that are busy. It's made for people that I don't have time. This system is set up to leverage and help you and an entire team. You lock arms together and you can do way more together than you can by yourself. So think about that. Where you work right now, wouldn't you like to start leveraging a team to make you more money? If you could duplicate yourself at work and say, I want to make 10 more of me, could you collect more money? Here, this is even better. You're not duplicating yourself. Each person is individual, and we get to leverage their skill set and their personality to help other people. That's even better, I think. Heck yeah. So what's the first thing we want to help people do? Like anything, there's many goals that they've set up. There's a 100% duplicatable process that we help people march through to hit what we call Go Leader. It means we want you to go out and lead it. What it means is here's just a level that when you help 10 people on one team and 20 on the other, this little asterisk is people that are plugged in. This doesn't mean that I'm going to go get Grandma Hazel on there and she just holds her spot. These are people that are active, and it's different than where you work. These folks actually want to be here. They're running for their goals and dreams, and so they're showing up to events and they're plugging in. That makes sense, right? We want the momentum to keep going, and that's how a business grows. So 20 on one, 10 on the other, and you get up to about $1,600 per month. At one time cash award of $6,000, which I think is awesome. So you stay where you're making money for a year, and then they'll give you another $6,000 for making more money. Yeah. So what do we ask people to do? What's the logical step that we're stepping? This is something we're excited about because we know it can help anybody, right? We just discussed how many people do you know are looking for something. They can take the Well Thinking Challenge, take the power of well thinking, and they can just by listening to audios that help them, they can actually earn $1 back, and up to 30 for the first 30 days. So you volunteered to get into something. People want to change, and this system here is paying them for doing something they want to do anyway, which I think is awesome. So think about reinforcing positive thinking, reinforcing positive behavior. Maybe $1 is not much, but if you're going to spend the money, and if you do this, I'll give you half back. Would that be a good deal? Be a way good deal. So we build communities of people who learn well thinking to pursue their goals and dreams. So anytime anybody asks you, like, well, you're doing a payment thing, here's really what we do. We build communities of people. We lock arms with men and women across America to help them learn well thinking, to go down a different path than what they've been taught, what the world has taught them, to pursue their goals and dreams. And I absolutely love it. Where I currently work right now, it's not my job to technically take Hunter and help him pursue his goals and dreams, unless it aligns with what the company wants, right? It's just the fact of it, and it's not a terrible place to work or anything like that, but they don't ask to pursue his dreams. Here's what you got to do to pursue your dream. As long as it aligns with this, Hunter, we can get you there depending on your actions, right? But here, I love that. Does anybody love this? We build communities of people who learn well thinking to pursue their goals and dreams, and we lock arms together to help each other get there. Heck yeah. So what's the recommended steps that when we're talking to people? There's step one, subscribe to Royal Starfish, $60 a month. This is the key to well thinking, right? To start changing what you're thinking about money, thinking about leverage, leadership. How do I be better? This is investing in yourself. So $60 a month, and it's an easy thing. What I found is most people that start listening, they absolutely love it because truth is sweet to the ears. It really is. People want to hear stuff that's going to help them be better. Step 2, enroll as a member. So people that said, yes, I want to, there's that B-type business. Yes, there's a pipeline income. Yes, that makes sense to me. And yes, I want to learn how to use leverage and I want to get off the path I'm currently on. So enroll as a member, you get Life Accelerator $50. There's an enrollment fee of $29, so total is $80. Has anybody went out to dinner last week and spent $80? And multiple weeks in a row, $80? So think about, for most people, they had a meal one time and that filled them up one night. But here, you can open the door, you can unlock the door, that can change your life forever for $79. It seems crazy when you think about what this allows you to do. It's only after 24 hours too, because they want you to try out the platform, see it for yourself. There's no arm twisting here, it's illegal. And who wants to run with someone that you're forcing to do anything? If you want that, you just go to work. Right? Most people don't want to be there. Total charge, $140. What I tell people, you can't even start a lawn mowing business for that much. You really couldn't. $139, you couldn't even start a lawn mowing business for that. And what this unlocks in the lawn mowing business, unless you get huge and it's a franchise or something, it would never produce pipeline income and give you the ability, and not only that, it would be hard to teach a lot of other people to do the same thing. We can lock arms together. So this is what we recommend for people to do. There's 2 steps, simple. We help them get into action. And who are we talking to? People that are interested. If they're not interested, then that's okay. No problem. There's an income disclosure statement that you can walk somebody through. What I recommend is you come up here, you look at this, and you take your finger down the path here and say, yes, what level would I like to be? Because most people haven't, to me, it's just even where it could be. And see what people are currently doing and take a look. What I would really suggest is most people that you can look around, even for yourself, you look around and say, what if I could live the life I always wanted? What if I made this income up here? What if I could get to this level? How would things be different? What if you changed somebody's life for the better? Because you had a pipeline income and you could help them with maybe they didn't even know. And maybe they knew. It doesn't really matter. But what if you could change the trajectory of you and your family and you have this ripple effect in the world that is positive, that's awesome. And think about this, because I know each one of you are sitting here for a reason. And we have this ripple effect we have on each other, whether we like it or not. It could be for the good or not. And I heard someone say this one, what type of person are you? Are you the person that brightens the room when you walk in it or when you leave it? And I know each and every one of you, we have the ability, we have this amazing opportunity to have this ripple effect in the world today to help 95% of people that are struggling today to live the American dream, that are looking for a way out. And I'm so dang excited that we have an opportunity that we can share with somebody and we can help them down that path, and that I can honestly say to them, what are your goals and dreams? I'd love to show you a system that could plug you in, that could help you do that, and we're going to lock arms together. I'm going to help you every step of the way. And anybody that I introduce this to has the same shot of going to the top of the charts as anybody that's been in here for 10 years or 20 years. Is that where most people work, or if a business, that's not a fair deal. But here it is. And I love that you can go as fast as you want. And are you hurting anybody on anything that we're doing here today? So think about this. People are spending money right now, every day, millions and millions of transactions, and we can, at a minimum, help them be a customer where they'll put more money back in their pocket, and we destroy an evil credit card companies that are getting people in debt. Heck yeah. So I just want you to think, what about the ripple effect? Someone threw you in this pond here into this meeting tonight, so you can have this ripple effect of good, for you and your family, and you're here for a reason tonight. And look around and I think about who's not here. Think about who you could talk to, not just for your own good, but for their own good. And not every, there's a lot of things out there that they don't talk like they do here. They don't back it up like they do here as well. This is built on fundamentals and principles by great men and women that serve and protect other people and lift people up, and I absolutely love what we do here. So, man, be that light in the world and share this with people out there. They need it, and man, you don't know until you ask, and I guarantee that ripple effect you're going to have onto them by allowing just, you know, like Dr. Child with me, he introduced us to an opportunity, this ripple effect that it's had in my life. Unbelievable. I appreciate each and every one of you. Man, what a phenomenal opportunity. So let's go out there and share with everybody. We're going to have, okay, come on up and share the next one.
We have the privilege of inviting you to our seminar next month on April 11th at 6 p.m. at the Mountain America Expo Center. And my husband's going to introduce our speakers.
So yeah, if you haven't had a chance to do it, we've got two of the greatest speakers in the entire business are going to be there. You're not going to want to miss it. You want to bring all your friends, you know, go down, rent a bus. I don't know, the bigger the better. Go by, drive around, load it up, and bring them out, because we got Rob and Kenyon Robson speaking. So they've got more energy between them than a whole room of people normally, and they'll energize you. So you want to be there. It's not the time to say, well, I'll bring my friend next month. Bring your friends this month. Be there and enjoy it.
David and Angel. All right, I'm so excited, and thank you everyone for being here. It's I want to share with you, we have a first time. How many of you remember the first time you went to school? Anyone? Did you? Did you go to school? Yeah? Lots of trouble. Yeah, we should be. I remember your first date, your first kiss, your first driving the car, the first day. Yeah. Well, tonight this is a first. We have all the way from Brigham City, the guy who knows everything, the guy who sets this up. He comes early, he stays late, and every mistake that I do, he covers for me. And so I want to welcome someone that I'm really grateful for. He's been a true blue friend. He's been a true blue friend to this organization in Ogden, all the teams that we have here. And like I said, from Brigham City. And so anyway, ladies and gentlemen, welcome. The guy who knows everything, Dustin Anderson.
All right. Thanks, Jeff. Didn't Casey do an awesome job? Do you know what he did so much? What did he talk about? Well, the purpose. Okay. Guess what's up on here on our Power Player trail? What is our first thing we have to do? We need a purpose. How many of us go through each day just trying to get checks in the box? I do. And I keep getting in a rut. I try to get out. The rut hits me back in. This purpose right here, when we get that purpose, the life we always wanted will be ours, because that's what we're chasing. That's what we all are putting our minds to. So what did Casey do? He dream built with you. What do you want? What is it in your life that brings you and keeps you here? Why do you show up here every Tuesday night when we could be doing lots of different things? There's beautiful weather outside. Sunshine till almost 8 o'clock. lots of different things that we can be doing that could take us away from chasing a purpose. The purpose that we have, like it says, we build people and educate people that they can get their goals and dreams. What are your goals and dreams? Do we look at them? Do we have them? Are they on our phone? Are they in front of us? Do we look at it every day? If not, we're sliding down that slippery slope where the comparisons, slippery slope of ending up where we don't want to go. Because the purpose of us here in this life isn't just to build a business, to live our lives. It is to become someone better than we were yesterday. That's our purpose. But like I said, we get into a rut. We get knocked around. Life tries to push us down. You know, it's like in the Rocky movies. You know, it's not how hard you can hit. You're going to get hit. But if you can get up and keep going. You know, this last week, you know, you hear all these Chuck Norris jokes. And, you know, and he passed away this last week. And the picture today was his funeral, where they took him in to wherever he was buried. And you know who his pallbearers were? There was Sylvester Stallone, Jean-Claude Van Damme, Lundgren, and Jason Statham, and there's 3 or 4 more there. These guys are big time action movie karate people that I've noticed through the week them saying how blessed they were to know Chuck Norris and what he did for them and what they have done for them. It was a circle that each of them trained each other to become. And we talked about legacy. The legacy that Chuck Norris, if you go look him up, there was so many different things that he has left and developed to increase the beauty of our world and help and service. So do you think he started with a purpose? He was the only person that I know of that was undefeated for 6 years in professional boxing ring in the world. Not just the United States, the world. That 6 years, and then he retired, you know, and was like, oh, I'll just have to give this up and go do something hard like acting. So, you know, the purpose. But where did he learn how to do this? We have in this business right here our platform. We have to change our thinking. We don't change our thinking by staying around the 95% people. 90% of the people going one way doesn't make it right. We have to get on a new path of thinking. The platform is filled with many, many things and tools, leverage that we can use in our life. As you know, went over them, there's thousands of audios, hundreds of videos of people that have gone through what started where we were. Somewhere you can find an audio that will resonate with how you're thinking, what you're going through right now. It is on our platform that, as Casey went over, we can start with just wealth thinking, meaning we're starting at $60 a month with a money back guarantee. How's that going to hurt somebody? It won't. But how will it help them? Because those podcasts that Orrin and Chris do, they're incredible. They have different 169 audios or podcasts that we can just tap into in 20 minutes. And if you listen to it on 1.5, it's even faster. But how many can you go through a day on that? You could go through the 169 in a month. Just listen to a couple, 3, 4 a day. And what better, I mean, people out there are podcast driven. They're always talking about, oh, we'll listen to a podcast for this, podcast for that. How is that going to help them if they're not on the right path? I mean, I can listen to a podcast about how to, whatever. They're all out there. But then if we're really serious about building our business, we get onto the Royal Starfish, and we also get on the process of leveraging a business system. Orrin and Chris and their wives and the policy council of this business have developed the system and the audios, videos to help us start thinking like a business owner. The platform helps us to create our wealth thinking, becoming a better person, a better spouse, all in our different areas of life. The business process helps us develop how to become business thinkers. It is a totally different thing. I ran a lawn business. I can't get in there for $139. You can't even buy a lawnmower. Gas right now, that'd be not even a week. But the thinking that you get from somebody that's already done this and is still on the path, they continue to tweak things, continue to say, this is how we did it, this is where we're going, is the incredible part of how we, each of us, can and will become better at launching our businesses and developing those who want to follow. Because this is a business to help people follow and people to drive the business. And as we do so, we'll be able to do that. And the other step right here, the pattern, 5-step pattern that goes into our business. You know, we make a list. How many of us make a list of dreams we want to get? How many of us makes a list of where we're going to go on vacation? How many of us going to go where we're going to go out to eat? Where are we going to go do this? What are we going to do this? We make lists all over. People are driven to make lists. So the first part of our pattern is make a list. Now, second part, how many of us really go do those things off our list? Some of us do, some of us don't. Some of us don't remember where we put the list. But as we continue to go, that is the part that the process helps us do, helps us get that courage, helps us get that confidence to make those phone calls, to set an appointment. That's all it's to do, set an appointment, and then we can invite those people we're working with that have success to come with us, to help us share the plan, to show these people how cool, how much this can help them in their lives. And then as we are to come and do anything that is of being able to continually move forward, we have to follow up. Following up is where a lot of people drop the ball because we want to go talk to people. We're excited. We want to bring our friends to help us share. We want to have all these things, and we get it all done. And then who, what, where? We forget who they were. We didn't make an appointment. And like Chris Brady jumping on your hood. Hey, did you make a follow-up? Did you? Nope. Oh, better get back in there. And then we start the list all over again. We rotate the pattern. And if we do these different things, this right here, you, and in your main team, we work as a team like Casey showed, our team approach. We continue to talk to people, continue to talk to people, continue to talk to people. We get 10 people on your main team, help you bring in at least 2. And these MS is a marketing systems that is part of the process, getting people that really want to continue to go and go fast. And then we help you develop your second team where you are the leader, you're the driver, that you can do these things that we've been practicing in our main team. And then you go out, get 5 people with 2 more people with marketing system. we call you a power player. Okay, anywhere in work or anything like that, do you get called a power player if you help 10 people? Or if you talk to 10 people, 15 people? Are you helping them succeed in life? That's the important thing about our system, our business, and it rewards you for doing the things that the system is set up for us to succeed, to win. And the opportunities we have here to help people continue to go is amazing. And like we were talking with Robin Kenyon Robson as our seminar in April, those people have gone through a lot of different challenges, and they're willing to tell us and teach us how they got through them. And how our system works is that we get to learn from people that have succeeded over and over, even though life has knocked them down. And so this is what we get to learn, and we get to do those things. So thank you for your time. Hope you have a great night. Be safe.